Victory. Victory, because I've had to come through some things and I've had to overcome some challenges in my life. We all have challenges, but at some point, you have to claim that you must be a victor. Because the enemy and the oppressor is always bringing something to us. And you better learn how to fight. And you have to learn how, and I don't mean necessarily physically fight. That might be necessary one day. Okay, and that is important. But for right now, sometimes we have to learn to fight with words. Okay, and words are power, or is power. English. Okay, you must learn how to use this tongue, because the tongue has the power of life and death in it, and depending on how you use that will determine the success that you can have in life, especially with relationships. And that is the reason why I'm going to talk to you at this moment about how to use the power, or how to empower you with the ability to keep relationships, especially speaking to young men at this time, because a lot of times we assume that the man is the leader of the household. Well, you can't always say that today, because I'm actually reevaluating some of the things that I've taught in the past. But whoever wants to be the big man or the greater man or the more mature person in that relationship, this is very important for you to learn. Okay, so when you have these confrontations or what have you, young men, the first thing I suggest that you do is, number one, you need to establish a way, and this needs to be discussed before you're having a problem in a relationship, okay? As a man or as a woman, if you're going to take charge, okay, you need to set a preface for where you would say, who's going to go first in this. Let's say you're having a disagreement, you might say. So you have to discuss who's gonna speak first and who's going to speak afterward. I suggest the stronger person let the other person go first. While that person is speaking, open your mind to where you're really listening to that other person. Allow them to speak. And if they're really angry, let them say what they need to say. Your job is to sit back and listen attentively. Just listen. Let them speak as long as they need to speak to get it out. But your job is to listen, to see if, number one, if what they're saying has a virtue. Or you might learn something just by listening, and you can balance that as you're listening. Once you have really listened to the other person, this is what you need to do next. You ask them, are they finished? Okay, and then the next thing you say, will you allow me to speak uninterrupted? Just as I've just given you respect, now I'm asking that you give me respect. Okay, you clarify that before you speak. Now, then you begin to talk. And don't forget the last video, remember honey, vinegar, honey. See, we need this in our culture because it is we're really dealing with a lot of situations in life right now that could really, if we can get past some of these things, we could reestablish a lot of our relationships, a lot of our families. We're really going through some things, and a lot of us are really stressed, okay? So you really need this. Now, once you have listened to the other person speak, now you're speaking and using the honey, vinegar, honey, and using the, to the best of your ability, try to address what they have said, but at the same time, make yourself clear as to what you're saying. Now, if that person is disagreeing with something that you are saying right then, you stop the conversation right then, and you say, wait a minute, I'm not finished. I gave you the opportunity to speak, Now I'm asking that you would respect me enough to allow me to finish speaking. If that person is willing to do that, then that person is willing to work with you. But if that person is not willing to do that, that is a person that until you get past that, you're not going to, you've got to have self-respect, and you've got to have respect for the other person as well. So if you do not allow this situation to happen right there, then you're not going to have a successful relationship. You've got to allow the other person to speak, and they must allow you to speak. When you finish, okay, so let's assume that they have allowed you to say what you have to say. You've both vented, you've both made your points. Now you all have to say, what can we do about this? Are you willing to work on whatever? What can we do to make this work? Now, that is the beginning of conversation and solving that issue. This is the beginning. So, with that said, I think that if we can employ this type of communication with each other, we can really make some strides in life. And we really need to get to the point to where when we're dealing with a situation, we're not so emotionally involved. When you see yourself becoming emotionally involved, or someone is crying or whatever, then that's when, especially as men, we have to pull back. Now, I was distracted several times while I was talking. Some young ladies walked by, and I kind of lost my train. So I may have to go back and look at this video and see, did I actually say exactly what I meant? Because I have to stay on track. And when I'm distracted, sometimes I can kind of lose it. But that was a young lady came over there. They was having a problem with their car, and I went to go over and help, but at the same time I was in the midst of this conversation. I don't think I did the manly thing. I probably should have stopped and went over there. But they're strangers, and they might have thought something differently of me to come over and help. But anyway, that's the way I do it, okay? And if I have to come back and back this video up, and I see something that I said that wasn't quite clear, forgive me, and I'll get back with you. Okay. Hello, family. This is Mr. E. If you would like to support the works of Mr. E or any of Ezel's productions, you may make your donations at Cash App. You will use $EKUFIE, EKUFIE, or you may make your payments through check or money order made out to Anthony Ezel or to Ezel's Productions, LLC. That address is P.O. Box 492, Jackson, Alabama, 36545. Or you may contact us at the phone number of 251-709-1123. Thank you.